Praise to you, Lord, King of eternal glory. Praise to you, Lord, King of eternal glory. Your words, Lord, are spirit and life. You have the words of everlasting life. Praise to you, Lord, King of eternal glory. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus went up the mountain, and he began to teach his disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. Truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus.
So the verse of the Gospel of sins wiped away. So today's readings speak to us about God's law. And Jesus says that he has not come to abolish the law and the prophets, but to bring them to fulfillment. Not one letter of the law. He came to give us the full meaning of these laws, to complete for us the picture of God's laws. And when we consider law, St. Thomas Aquinas, he had a lot to say about law. He distinguishes 4 kinds of law. Now, there's an eternal law. This is God's unchanging laws, and all other laws flow from this. We cannot know all of God's eternal law because we're not God, but we can know certain laws, like the laws of nature, laws of gravity, for example. That's unchanging. You can alter the environment of something, like put it in a vacuum and whatnot, so the thing floats, or put it in a magnetic field and it floats, but still the laws of gravity are still applying. If I threw this if I let this go, it's going to fall to the ground. That's an example of an eternal law, gravity. But there's also divine law. That's the second one. This is the law that has been revealed to us in the Scriptures, in the Old Testament first, the 613 laws and ordinances. I think the Holy Land had the same area code as we do here, 613. So if you ever forget how many laws are there are 613, 613. I don't know who has a 613 area code phone number. I do, but anyway, so 613. And there's what Jesus reveals to us, the fulfillment of these laws, to get to the heart of what these laws really mean and how we should apply them in our lives. There's also a third category, human laws. Laws that a society or a group of people enact for hopefully the common good. Not always. That's when we get to unjust laws. We're not going to get into that because that's a whole can of worms, but I think we can think of a few. There are things that are legal but shouldn't be done. But some examples of human laws are like traffic symbols. A red octagon, that means stop, that was our invention. We created that. It wasn't God who told us. We created that. That means stop. The stop sign means stop. Green light means go. Or if you know the department store Zellers, they used to have a slogan a while back, the lowest price is the law. They made their own laws. So the lowest price is the law. Le prix le plus bas, c'est la loi, en français. That's a human law. Those things can change. Prices can go up at the store. But there's also this fourth category, and that is natural law. That's something written in each one of us as human persons. With our own reason. We can grasp natural law with our reason. It's our ability to discern between what's right and what's wrong. Like hurting another person or killing another person, we know deep down inside of us that that's wrong. We don't need a commandment for that, actually. We know that this is not something that we should do. It's in our own nature as human beings to know that it's wrong. And so natural law can be summed up like this: do good, avoid evil. It's the first principle. Do good and avoid evil. And we apply that principle in everything we do. At least we try. But because of original sin, we have this inclination towards sinfulness, towards evil. St. Paul says, even in his letter to the Romans, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. He's talking here about sin, right? So we're talking about a battle here between choosing good and choosing evil. And this is what Lent is all about. It's a battle. As we read last Sunday, Jesus overturned the tables of money changers in the temple, and he wants to do the same in the temple of our hearts. There's a battle, right? On the one hand, we want to do good, but we don't always follow through on that. Sometimes we do evil. And this is what I think Lent is all about. Now, how fitting it is that it's in spring, too. In March, we started March. We have some warm and sunny days. We got some longer days. We got to change our clocks. Don't forget this weekend. Sometimes a warmer breeze coming through. Temperatures are getting warmer, but there's still a threat. Still a threat of cold. Still a threat of darkness. There could be a snowstorm. I'm not a meteorologist, but there could be a snowstorm. I've seen snowstorms on Mother's Day, even in May. And so there is this battle, even within our climate, between the cold and the warm, between light and darkness. But we know that on Easter Sunday, light overcomes darkness, life overcomes death, the good overcomes evil. That's what we have to look forward to at the end of this March. That's what we have to look forward to at the end of this Lent. And so let us take advantage of this time of Lent, this time of training in our hearts to learn to always to choose what is good and most loving and to avoid what is evil. Happy spring cleaning.